Some people say that I have a buying problem. No. I don't have the buying problem. You have a buying problem. I had a problem with sorting my cards ever so neatly and conveniently enough for me to get to them. I no longer have that problem. What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing Tuesday. I hope that you are having an amazing Tuesday. And if you aren't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Speaking of such, my shipment from Imperium Duelist just came in. I bet you're probably wondering exactly what was I rambling about in the beginning. Well, I just so happened to have bought, more binders than I actually needed at this period in time. And if you want to pick up a copy of one of these awesome binders for your collection, I wouldn't necessarily use them for trading, but I definitely use them to stock the cards that you need to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or maybe to keep your collection intact, then go ahead and check out the link. I'll leave it down below in the description. And you'll also be able to use my code CaliEffect10 to receive 10% off your entire order. I talked to the owner of Imperium Duelist directly and he wouldn't let me use my code. But that ain't gonna stop me from buying stuff, I guess. And now that I think about it, I may just really have a buying problem, as today I'm going to be talking about cards that I am going to be buying. All right, you got me, I got a buying problem. Now, of course, you can do whatever you want with this information, but these are the cards that I'm going to be looking to pick up because I think that they will skyrocket in price. Let's go. All right, so the first thing I want to say is that I am not right all of the time. I want to urge that because, man, I've had some pretty bad misses. And if that's something that you want to see, then go ahead and let me know. I'll be sure to make a video about some of the worst investments I ever made, including buying Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood for $20 a pop. I also want to mention that if you want to get the inside scoop about stuff like this, or just be a part of the creation process of me making videos, then go ahead and join my Patreon. I'm actually gonna start opening up a reward where we actually just get together and make videos. But with that being said, there are some cards that I am super excited about. I think a good amount of them will be long-term investments, meaning that there's some cards that you might wanna buy and then just stash away for a lot later. They're not gonna go up anytime soon, but when they do, you're going to plus. Take, for example, Zora, the Synchro Magistus monster. This card literally has no business being this cheap. What Zora the Magistus Conflagrant Calamity does, I know that is a very long name, is that when it is synchro summoned, you can equip a Magistus card from your extra deck to this card. Furthermore, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same cards, Magistus cards that you have in your spell and trap card zone, like extra deck monsters, Exceed, Synchro, Fusion, stuff like that. Also, if it just so happens to be in your graveyard, you can target one Magistus card you control, destroy it, and special summon this guy right back to your side of the field. Now, I can see why this card is so cheap. It's not necessarily a great Yu-Gi-Oh card. First, it requires a Spellcaster Tuner monster to make, and outside of Incredible Ecclesia and Effect Veiler, you're not really going to be able to make this card easily. And second, it is fairly limited. It can only equip one Magistus monster from the extra deck and only stop the effects of one mechanic, unless you're playing Magistus. But the real reason why I have so much faith in this card is that it's only $1, like $1. That and the fact that I believe that Konami will print more Spellcaster Tuners. I think that if Magistus ever does become a good deck, or if there is a deck that can abuse this card, a $1 secret rare from Burst of Destiny, oh man, even if this card goes to $3, that's triple of what I paid for it. But in the genuine competitive Yu-Gi-Oh strategy that relies on this card could be $10. I'm literally banking on this card's potential and the potential of spellcasters. I think that this is an easy buy. Now, my favorite thing about Yu-Gi-Oh is when you can get some cores for extremely cheap. But one thing I always want to put you on is that that's not a forever thing. Once the set stops being printed, then you're going to be scrambling for these cards, which is why I think you should be picking up Ultimate, or not Ultimate, if you had the money for Ultimate, we wouldn't be talking about budget, would we? But gold rare copies of Invocation are definitely going to be at their cheapest right now. I haven't even gotten my case of Maximum Gold Eldorado, and I know quite a few people that haven't gotten theirs as well, meaning that the first wave of Maximum Gold is still to come, but right now, Invocations are $11 per copy. If you are trying to build an Invoke deck, I think that that's a pretty good price range. Maybe drop it till it gets a little lower. I mean, I don't know if I'd gamble it, but I think around that price is a good time to buy Invocations, because once Maximum Gold stops printing, and if they don't print another Invocation, You're gonna wish you had these invocations. Another card that seriously piques my interest is a card that was reprinted inside of Maximum Gold El Dorado. Cypher Gear Gamma is no stranger to being on a card that I feel you should buy before it skyrockets in price. If I remember correctly, a certain someone did tell you to buy the rare copies before they skyrocketed in price, and it was for interesting profit. But nonetheless, gold rare Cypher Gear Gammas are sitting at the maximum price of a rare Cypher Gear Gamma before its initial reprint at $4 a copy. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but Cypher Gear Gamma always seems to be a card inside a format, a card that's always played, and a card that's fairly good. So picking up some copies of Cypher Gear Gamma just in case you find a deck that may need it before it balloons into a ridiculous price tag, I think is a good idea. And while we're on Cypher Gear Gamma, maybe picking up some Cypher Lambdas would be amazing too. Lambda can not only search Cypher Gear Gamma, but allows you to activate it while you have monsters on the field as long as you have Lambda on the field. So yeah, that's pretty cool too. Another card from Maximum Gold El Dorado that I think you definitely should be looking into is Mystic Mine. That's right, the card that everybody either loves or hates is a fairly decent card in this Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, and it's something that you should definitely be looking at. Gold rare copies of Mystic Mine are about $2 per copy. This is the cheapest that Mystic Mine probably has ever been, as the secret rare copies were hitting the $15 mark and the supers were not too far behind. I think picking up some copies of gold and then stashing them for the future it's just maximum perfecto. This is Squamata talking. Pick up some maximum gold Mystic Mines in case you need them for the future. Thank me later. Mystic Mine no doubt can be a frustrating card, but it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Now a card that I feel everybody should know, with like, this is just a no-brainer to buy, but Crystal Clear Synchro Dragon is almost a shoe-in to buy. Reason being is because this card is only $50 for a Ghost Rare. Nani? This is actually fairly ridiculous. A Ghost Rare Yu-Gi-Oh! Card that, I mean, it has an okay effect, I guess, but the fact that it's Ghost Rare, literally one every other case, and it's around $50? Now, before we get any deeper, I don't necessarily think Crystal Clearwing Dragon is an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. I actually don't even think it has that many competitive applications, as Clearwing Synchro Dragon is a card that, I mean, you really don't play, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is a little bit too good to be using as a synchro summon into this card. Regardless, Crystal Clear Synchro Dragon is a $65 Ghost Rare, and personally I feel that that's ridiculously cheap. Crystal Clear Synchro Dragon does come one every other case, and while Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm is probably the best legendary set we've had, meaning that there should be more in circulation, it's still a card that should be regarded as a Ghost Rare. Now, one of the most expensive buys that I think you can make right now, but it's almost a given pretty much, is Lyrilusk Bird Call. I've seen Lyrilusk Bird Calls creep up from a $5 ultra rare to a $15 ultra rare as it is right now. And I personally think that Lyrilusk is easily one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't believe me? Go ahead and check out the video where I explain why Lyrilusk is really good. Regardless, not only is Winged Beast something that Lyrilusk pretty much are getting support in Brothers of Legend, this is a strategy that's already really good. I can see ultra rare copies of Bird Call maxing out at being $30 each once players start to realize that Lyrilusk is a dangerously good deck. And for the people that don't know, now you know. A card that I have a really good hunch for, I don't think that it's a good card, I just have a hunch for it, is Heritage of Chalice. Heritage of Chalice allows you to add a Noble Arms or Noble Knight card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. This is good. Noble Knights is technically getting support in Grand Creators and Brothers of Legends, but I don't necessarily see this card as being good necessarily for Noble Knights, just being a reinforcement of the army that can also recur the card from the graveyard to the hand, and was printed twice about 2 years ago. Currently, Heritage of the Chalice is a $4 Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, and if a Noble strategy or cards that use Noble Arms or Noble Knight cards in the deck ever need this card to make it a really competitive deck, well, the secret rare copies I can see being about $10 each. Now, this is easily one of my patent risky moves that either make me look like a fool or a fucking genius. And that is all that I have for cars that you should buy before they skyrocket in price. Again, if you want to be a part of this video's creation or other videos creation and get the inside scoop, consider joining my Patreon. Also, if you want to check out more amazing content, not only do I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can also check out these videos as I'll catch you on the next one.